Hi. In this video, we're going to be talking about present value. And what I mean by that is, suppose somebody owes you money. As in this example here, you have an IOU for $100, payable 1 year from today. Right? So 1 year from today, you can get $100 by cashing in this IOU. However, you need cash right now, and you'd like to sell that IOU to me for some amount. The question is, what would be a fair amount for me to pay for it? What's a fair price for it? That fair price is called the present value of the $100 due a year from today. And in general, that's what present value means. There's some amount of money due in the future that you could receive in the future, right? And you own something that says that debt is yours. It will be paid, like an IOU or a bond. That's all a bond is a kind of IOU. And you want to sell it. What's it worth today? Right? Well, the way to figure that out is to think, well, if I buy this bond, this IOU from you, this $100 IOU from you, whatever money I pay for that, I could invest it in something else instead. And I could get some kind of return on that investment. Right? So what would be a reasonable amount to get? Well, you look around and you find out, in this, we're going to use for an example, that you can get 5% simple annual interest on a good investment, a fairly safe investment. You can be reasonably sure you'll get your money back with the interest. Okay, let's suppose that's the case. Then a fair price to pay for the $100 IOU is the amount P that you would have to invest today to end up at 5% simple annual interest to end up with $100 a year from now. So you can pretty easily figure that out. If you invest P dollars right now at 5% simple annual interest, then after 1 year, it's going to be worth P times 1.05. And we need to know when that is equal to 100. So this is really easy. P is 100 over 1.05, which is pretty close to 95.24. So 95.24 is a fair price for this $100 IOU. That is to say, it is the present value of $100 under these circumstances, in which you can get 5% simple annual interest on a good investment for 1 year. Okay, let's do one more with simple interest here. Same IOU, right? It's $100. You can get 5% simple annual interest. But this time, the IOU is not due for 2 years. So if you buy the IOU from me, you would get paid $100 in 2 years. So how much would you have to invest now at 5% simple annual interest to end up with $100 in 2 years? Well, what would P dollars at 5% simple annual interest be worth in 2 years? It would be worth P times 1 plus 2 times 0.05. And we would need that to be equal to 100. So this is P times 1.1 is equal to 100. Oops, not 1,000, but 100. So P would be 100 over 1.1. And again, that's pretty easy. Just take out your calculator. To the nearest cent, that's $90.91. Okay, let's do an example with compound interest. Here we go. Same $100 IOU due in 1 year. And now we can get 5% annual interest compounded monthly. So it's the same kind of calculation. It's the same idea. It's just the computation's a little different because you have compound interest here. Since this is going to be compounded monthly, we're going to be able to have 12 compounding periods happen before the year is up. So how much is P dollars worth if it compounds at 5% annual interest compounded monthly for 1 year? So it would be, as you know, P times 1 plus 0.05 over 12 to the 12 times 1. And we would need that to be $100. So P would be 100 over that thing. And if you take out your calculator and work a little while, that turns out to be about 95.13. just a little less than the simple interest case, because of course you can make more money when you compound. Okay, let's do the 2-year version of that. Okay, same setup, but now due in 2 years. How much should P be to end up with $100 in 2 years? Well, you just set it up. It's P times 1 plus 0.05 over 12 to the 12 times 2. Now, you need that to be 100. So again, you just divide. P is 100 over that messy looking thing. 0.05 that's supposed to be. Over 12 to the 24th this time. And that works out to be about $90.50. Again, a little bit less than the simple interest rate. Okay. So here's the deal. Suppose you have an amount A payable in T years. And you can get a discount rate that is annual interest rate, R, on a good investment. And this thing is going to be compounded N times per year. Then the present value of A dollars is, we'll just call it P, sometimes it's called PV. It's A over the quantity 1 plus R over N to the NT, just as in the examples. So that's the way you find present value for compound interest in general. And in real life, compound interest is what you're going to have to work with. Okay, so let's do an example where we use that formula. Here we go. We have an IOU for $1,000, comes due 3 years from today. Assuming a discount rate of 4% compounded semi-annually, what is the present value of the IOU? So here's the formula, remember. The present value is going to be A over 1 plus R over N to the NT. So we need to find A, R, N, and T. Well, A is the amount, the amount that will be due, and that's 1,000. R is the discount rate, and that's 4% as a decimal, 0.04. N is the number of compounding periods per year, so that's 2. And T is the number of years, so that's 3. So just filling this in here, we get 1,000 over, oops, going right through the paper, 1 plus 0.04 over 2 to the 2 times 3. And that works out to be, just a second, I got it here somewhere, just about $887.97. Well, that's pretty much all you need to know about present value.